Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we are going to create this awesome website using Next.js and Tailwind CSS. So let's go back to our VS Code and start creating it. Alright, as you can see I have opened a fresh file in my VS Code, and here we need to install our Next.js. So to install Next.js, we need to go to their site, copy this and paste it here, and do remember to give a dot here so that it will install the Next.js in the same folder. Now it will ask some questions like TypeScript, yes, ESLint, yes, Tailwind CSS, yes. Now I like source directory, so I will use src, so yes. App router, absolutely yes. Import alias, no. Now it will install our Next.js. Alright, as you can see, it has installed our Next.js in this folder. Now if I run npm run dev, now it will start our server. Copy this, Ctrl C, go to our Chrome tab, paste it, and now as you can see our Next.js server is up and it's working. So we need to do something, so let's go to our page.tsx and we need to clear this. We don't need this, so select all of this and hit backspace and save it. Let's give a h1 here for the time being so that it doesn't shows any error. So in our layout.tsx we need to change something like our font and all, but for this video I am not going to change anything. You can change according to your needs. If I go back to our design, we need to do this background first. So to do our background, what I can do, I can create another folder in my source directory, so and let's name it as components, and here we need to create a file called home.bg.tsx. Now if I write rafce, now this is an extension which I have downloaded from the extension tab, and you can download it too. Now here we need to import our images so that it looks like something like this. So to do that, let me import our images first. Alright, as you can see I have imported all the images required for this project, and here are those images as you can check. Alright, now under this div we need to create image tag, so right here image and import it from next image, and this source will be coming from our, now this source we have to import our image first, so let me import those. Alright, as you can see I have imported the images here, so here I can simply write home bg mobile. Now I am writing this as ascending order, so the mobile will be first, then tablet, then desktop. Now similarly I have to add for our tablet as well as desktop, so it will have source, it will be home bg tablet. I can simply do this and select this and write home bg desktop. Now also we have to give here alt, so this will be background for mobile, and here too we have to give this, so this will be background for tablet. Similarly this will have background for desktop. Alright, now this images will have some class name, so let me quickly add those class name here and show it to you. Alright, as you can see I have added those class name here, and this main div will have a class name of absolute, top will be 0, left will be 0, the width will be full, and the z index will be 20. The first image, that is our home bg mobile, will have a class name of minimum height screen object cover md hidden, because this image will be hidden when the screen size is above 768 pixel and the width will be full. Similarly for our tablet, it will have a hidden property, so initially it will be hidden, then it will show itself whenever the screen size is above 768 pixel, the minimum height will be screen, object will be cover, and whenever the screen size is above 1280 pixel it will hide itself and the width will be full. Similarly for our desktop, it will be hidden, max height screen, width full, object cover, and an pixel size of screen it will be block. Alright. Now before we do this, we need to change something in our layout file. So come back to our layout.tsx, and within this body tag, we need to create a main tag, and within this we have to create two divs. So one div. Now shift this children parameter, if I can select, to this second div. Alright. Now our upper div, which is our first div below the main, will contain navbar, as we want our navbar to be visible throughout all our pages. So this will be our navbar. Now this will show some error as there is nothing called navbar yet. So in our component folder, let me create another file called navbar, if I can spell it properly. So it will be navbar.tsx. Type here rafce. It will create a navbar component, and here I can simply write navbar. Now come back to our layout.tsx and select this and import it here. Now if I go back, as you can see, our navbar is visible. Now if you see our design, this content has some padding from left hand side and right hand side. So to do that, what I can do, I can predefine our container space in my tailwind.config.ts file. So come back to our tailwind.config.ts file, and below this what I can do, I can paste our container. Now I am getting this from Tailwind CSS site, so you can grab it from there and save this. And now what I have to do, we have to go back to our layout.tsx, and this div, which holds our children property, will have a class name of container. Alright, save it. Now you will not be able to say this. So to check that it's working or not, what we can do, we can go back to our page.tsx. This is our primary page.tsx, that is our home page. So here I can write home page. So if I save this, as you can see, there is some spacing from left hand side and right hand side. Alright. Now to add this background, I can simply remove this h1 from here. I can create a div, and within this div I can within this div I can import my home bg here. So if I save this and go back, refresh it, as you can see, our background is visible. Alright. Now let's do our nav part. So in our nav, as you can see, there is a logo, and in the right side there is nav links. So similarly, we have to go to our navbar. Now do declare this navbar as use client, as we are going to use some hooks. Use clients, use client. Alright. This div will have an image. Let's create another div, and this div will have an image tag, which is coming from our next image, and this image will hold our logo. So let me import our logo. So import logo from our public folder /shared/logo. Now I can simply come back to my image tag and right here is a C logo, and give here alt tag of logo. Now if I save this and go back, as you can see, our logo is visible. Alright. Now before we add our navbar here, this layout.tsx file will also have some class properties. So let me quickly add those and explain it to you. Alright, as you can see, I've added the class names here. Now this main element will have a class name of relative. It will have flex call, justify between, and the text will be slate 200. Alright, let's go back to our navbar and start creating our right hand side. Now what I can do, I can create an array of objects. So const, let's say nav link. Now this will be array of objects. So let me quickly add those and show you to you. Alright, as you can see, I have added something here. So this will be number 0, level will be home, and the path will be slash, as this is our home page. Now similarly, it will have a slash destination, slash crew, and technology. Now what I can do, I can come back here. Now you can change this to nav, and under this nav tag you can give curly braces and import nav link. We can map over it, so it will have a data and idx. Now you can use curly braces here, but if you use curly braces here, you need to use return statement. Otherwise you can use this parenthesis, so I will use that. Now what I can do, I can create a link. Alright, this link will have a key property of idx. It will have a href of data.href. Now this link will have a label of data.label, and it will also have data.number. Now if I save this and go to our, as you can see, our nav link is visible. Now if I click this destination, now it will show error as this folder is not created yet. So if I go back to my home, as you can see, our home page is visible. Now what I can do, now this div as well as nav will have some class names. So as always, I will copy those class name here so that I can save some time here. So let me do that quickly. Alright, as you can see, I've added some class name here and I've changed something here. So this, I've changed it to a header. Now earlier it was a div. I've added a link here, which will be redirect to our home page. So if I click our image, it will redirect to our home page. Now in my nav, I have given a class name of hidden excel. At excel, it will be flex, item center, the gap will be of 10, py of 4, px 20, and the backdrop blur lg absolute. It will have a height of 0 and height of 10 ph. Now after this, what we can do, as you can see in our project, we have this border bottom whenever our tab is active. So to do that, we have to use a function called cn, which will help us in conditionally rendering our Tailwind classes. So what I can do, in our source file, I can create, let's say a lib, let's say a utils folder, it will be utils. So in this utils, I can create a cn.ts function. So let me copy that function and show it to you. Alright, as you can see, I have written this function. Now this is a simple function. It will only take the inputs as class value and it will pass this class value through this Tailwind merge and CSS. Now this function will help in something like, if we have so many classes, there might be some classes which may clash with each other. So this function will help us to manage those. As you can see, there is some error, so I need to install it through npm i tailwind merge and clsx. Now this will help us in conditionally rendering our classes. As you can see, the error is gone. Save this. Now what I can do, I can simply come back here. To do this border bottom, we need to conditionally render it. So what we can do, we can create a variable, let's say const path name equals use path name, import it from next navigation and save it. Alright, now using this, we have to add our class name here. So let me do that and show it to you. Alright, as you can see, I've added the CSS in our link tag. Now let me explain what I've done. Now this is our same function. Now it says initially the class properties will be flex, space x of 2, item center, text let, 200 uppercase, tracking widest, text sm, the height will be 10 vh and padding bottom of 4. But whenever the path name is equals to data.href, that is our this, whenever the tab is active, the border it will activate this border bottom of border b, border bottom slate 400, otherwise it will be null, nothing. So if I save this and go back, as you can see, there is this border bottom. If I can zoom it, all right. Now if I change this to destination, as you can see, there is this border bottom for destination as well. Now let me create those folder first so that it doesn't shows any error. So in our app directory, what I can do, I can create a crew folder, and this crew folder will have a page.tsx. So let's give it rfc. So this is, now this will have, let's say, crew page for now. Now similarly I can create another folder for destination. Now within this I can create a page.tsx, and here I can simply write here rfc, and this will be our destination page. Now do not spell it incorrectly, otherwise it will not work. So let me quickly add the folders for other two. Now if I save this, if I go back, if I hit destination, as you can see, destination page. If I hit crew page, then again this technology is not working because I have spelled it incorrectly. So it will be technology. If I save this, as you can see, technology page is visible. Now similar to what we have done in our home page, we can add this background image for our technology, destination and crew. So let me do that. So I can come back to our this page.tsx. Now here what I can do, go back to our home bg.tsx, simply copy this component totally from here, come here, and under this export default page I can create this. Now this will be crew bg, let's name it as crew bg, and we need to cut this from here. Let's move it to top of our page, and here what I can do, I can write crew. Alright, now here we can do export default crew page. Alright, now save this. Now what we have to do, we have to change our images for this crew page. So in our public folder we have this crew page which holds our images. So let me import that first and show it to you. Alright, as you can see, I have imported my images from this folder. Now we need to rename this here. So copy this, paste it here. For our tablet, similarly replace this to crew tablet and replaces this to crew mobile. Now save it. Now here within this div we can import it. So this will be crew bg. Alright, as you can see, this is done. So now if I go back to our crew page, as you can see, our background image is visible. So similarly what we have done to our crew page, now I can close this and let me open all those pages. So this is our destination page, this is our technology page, so this is our destination. So what we can do, we can simply Control C and Control V, Control V. Alright, now what we can do, we have to change the names of these respective pages. So this will be destination page. All right. In our technology page, we need to change this to our technology page. All right. Along with this, we need to change these images to our respective pages. So let me do that and show it to you. Alright, I have added the images. Now simply replace this technology desktop, copy this and come back here, paste it for this tablet. Similarly, copy this, paste it here, copy this and paste it here. Save this. Similarly, for our destination desktop, I have imported as well. So copy this desktop from here. Now replace it with destination desktop. Do this for all the images. Now why I'm doing this, because this is same for all the pages, so why to waste time. All right, I have saved those. Now if I go back, refresh it first. If I go back to our home page, as you can see, our background is visible. In our destination page, as you can see, background is visible as well. In our crew page, and as you can see, this is our technology page. All right, now let's come back to our navbar, close this, and let's do the navbar for our mobile as well. So this, now remember we have added this class properties, knowing that this will be hidden whenever our screen size is below 768 pixel. So I can simply come back down here, and here what I can do, I can create mobile nav. Let's comment it as mobile nav. All right, now similarly to what we have done here, we can do this here. So let me do that and show it to you. Alright, as you can see, I've added the class name as well, and similarly what I've done for our desktop nav, I've added this path name property here as well. So let me explain what I'm doing. So this div will have a flex call, justify between, the gap y will be 10, backdrop blur lg, px of 5, py of 5, and it will be rounded lg. Now this link will have a cn function which will initially say that it will have an initial class name of flex, spacex of 2, item center, textlet 200, uppercase, tracking will be widest, and the text will be xn. Whenever the path name is equals to of data.href, now it will trigger the border bottom as well as the border slit 400. Now this link will hold a span tag which will have this number as well as this label. All right, now this label will have a class name of text normal. Now if I save this and go back to our output, as you can see, this is visible. Now why this is overlapping, because we have not added the class name to our nav. So let me do that. Now what we have to do, we have to create a use state hook so that we can toggle our navbar. So we can create const is nav open, set is nav open, and as we are using use client, as we defined it as use client earlier, so it will not throw any error. So this will be false initially. Let's create a handle function. So const handle navbar, and this will be an arrow function. So let's name it as set is nav. This will be is nav open. Now what this function will do, whenever we click the div, it will toggle is nav to its opposite state. So if it is false, then it will be true. If it is true, then it will be false. So we have done this. Now what I can do, I can come back here, select this div, this whole nav div and do one thing. Write a curly braces, and here I can write is nav open question mark, then show me this, otherwise show me nothing. Now if I save this, as you can see, it's not visible anymore. Now, along with this, we need to add some hamburger icon so that we can toggle over it, otherwise it will not be visible. So what we can do, we have to import our hamburger icons from our public folder. So let me do that and show it to you. Alright, as you can see, I have added the hamburger icon. Now let me explain it to you. So this is our div for our hamburger icon. So whenever the is nav is open, it will show close hamburger, otherwise it will show simple hamburger icon. So if I save this and go back, as you can see, our hamburger icon is visible. Now if I click this, it will show our navbar. Now if I again click it, it will hide it. Now this is responsive, as you can see. If I increase this, as you can see, our desktop navbar is visible. Now let me explain how I have done it. So this is our main div for our mobile nav. Now this will be Excel hidden, which means whenever our screen size is above 2880 pixel, this whole div will be hidden. So below this is our div for our navbar. It has a class name of absolute, top 11 and right 11. Now this top 11 and right 11 is for this absolute, and this is what is working for me. You can try it out, whatever it's working for you. Now I've created another div for our close hamburger icon as well as hamburger icon. Now similarly, what I did for my nav links for my mobile, I have done is nav open. If it is open, then show me close hamburger icon, otherwise show me this hamburger icon. Now come back down here. I have created a nav element which has a class name of absolute, top 12, right 2 and z index of 20. Similarly, I have created another curly braces, and within that I have written is nav open, then show me this div, otherwise show me nothing. Now within this div I have this link tag, which is similarly what we have done for our desktop nav. It will redirect to our folder, it will redirect to our URLs. So this has a dynamic class property. So I have this cn function, and within this I have written if path name equals to data.href, then it will trigger border bottom as well as border slit 400. Alright, as you can see, if I save this and go back, our navbar is done. As you can see, our navbar is done. Now let's concentrate on our content. So this navbar is done, so I can close this. Do remember that all the code will be available in my GitHub, so you can get the link from description down below. Alright, now let's close all of this and start it fresh. So close this. Let's go to our home page. Now what I can do, this will have a div and it will have two divs inside of it. Alright, now this div will have a, let's say, p of this one, and this will be, let's say, h2, and another p of, let's say, copy this and paste it here. Now this div will have explore text. I save this. As you can see, all of these are visible. Now I have to add the styling. As always, I will copy that CSS and show it to you. Alright, as you can see, I have added all the class name required for this content. So this is our main div, which will have a width of full, and whenever the screen size is XL, it will have flex property, justify between items center, the height will be 80 VH, the text will be white, and whenever the screen size is medium, the margin top will be 44 and XL Whenever the screen size is XL, the margin top will be 0. And in the second div, which is our div for this left hand side, it will have a class properties of XL. Width will be half, flex call, justify between, item center, and in XL the items will be in starting position, margin bottom of 14, XL will be MB0. Now this H2, which is this one, will have a class name of uppercase text LG, and whenever the screen size is LG, that is 1024, the text will be SM. It will have a margin bottom of 10. Now this is H1. This will have a font medium, text 9XL, MB of 24, MB of 14, and last but not least, this paragraph tag, this paragraph element will have a text LG, text center. It will, whenever the screen size is LG, it will have a text justify, tracking wider, font normal, text lit 400, and a leading of normal, that is our line height, and a width of 96%. Now this right hand side will have this circle. So for this div, we have XL, width of half, flex, justify center. In medium screen, the margin top will be 60, and in the screen, wherever the screen size is above 1280, the margin top will be 0. This div will have a width of 72, height of 72, and in XL the width will be 56 and height is 56. BG will be white, rounded full, flex, item center, justify center, the text will be black, and this paragraph element will have a text of 2XL, medium screen the text will be 4XL, font bold, tracking widest. Now if I save this and go back, as you can see, our contents are visible. Now I'm not using the same font as I did here, so that's why there is a font difference. You can change it, but I'm not going to change in this video. Alright, let's concentrate on destination. Now whenever we go to our destination, as you can see, there is this pick your destination. This now, like our Navbar, we have this as well. So moon, whenever we click our Mars, now this image will change along with this content. Alright, now I have done this. So if I go back, let's close this. As our home page is done, we can close it. Let's go to our destination page, and here we can start creating it. So we can give a div here. Let's give a span here of 01 and a paragraph tag of, let's copy it from here. Alright, paste it here, save this, and if I go back, as you can see, 01 as well as pick your destination is visible. Alright, destination. Yep. Alright, now we have to create this. So for this, we can create another component and import it to our destination page. So before that, we need to style this. So for styling, I will simply copy the CSS from here. So if I save this, as you can see, pick your destination, and this styling is done. Alright, this styling is done. Now let's concentrate on this this component. So what I can do, within our component folder, we can create another file, and let's name it as destination component.tsx rafce. Alright, now we are going to pass the props here. So what I generally like to do is, we can create another file, and let's name it as types. and this holds a file called type.ts. So let me copy those types here. Control C. Our types. Now this will be required because we have a data.ts file. So let me create that. Now these types are required because we are going to pass our props from our parent component, that is this, to this child component. So this as we are using TypeScript, this is required. If you are using JavaScript, then it's not required. You can skip this. So in our data.ts file, we have this imports for all our images. All right. And here I have done export const destination. Similarly, what I have done for our navbar, I have created this array of object for Moon, Mars, Europa, and Titan. I have also created for crew and for technology as well. And this data will have these types. Otherwise the TypeScript will show error. What I can do, I can create an interface here of, let's say, destination props, and here what I can do, props, and let's import destination prop from our data from our types. And what I can do, I can write React.fc destination props component prop component prop. Now as we did this, TypeScript will not show any error. So this is done. Now what we can do, let's do this use client, as we are going to use states. So let's define a state here. So const current tab and set current tab. We'll have use state and it will be 0. Now what we can do, we can go back to our parent component, that is this page.tsx for our destination, and here I can create a div, and within this div I can first save the destination component, and here I can call destination component, and this is expecting props. So what I can do, I can call data, it will have a destination property. Now this is showing error because if we go back to our destination component, I can pass here data as prop. Alright, quite showing data is used, but this is showing error because data is declared but not used. So I can simply do data.map data and idx. What I can do, this will be image. So let's import it from next image. Image, next image, source will be data dot. Why data is not working? Alright, I was getting an error, so to fix that I need to change this to data. Now as you can see, the error is gone. Now I can simply come here and do data dot image, and it will have a key prop of, let's say, idx. It will have a alt of, say, destination image. Now let's give it with peg. Alright, if I save this, what the error is coming? If I save this, oh, if I save this and go back and refresh this, nothing's coming. Destination. If refresh this, now as you can see, all the images are visible. Now what I can do, I can simply now similarly what we have done it for our images, we have to add for the text. So let me do that and show it to you. As you can see, I have added all the class attributes that are required, as well as I have added all this map function that are required for styling this like this. So let me explain what I have done here. So this is our main div. Now this main div will have a class name of MD. In MD screen, the padding X will be 36 and MX will be auto to center it. This is our div for images. So this will have a class name flex XL, justify end, justify center. The gap X will be 14 and in Excel screen the width will be 50% and margin bottom will be 10. Now within this curly braces I have this map function. So this takes data and index as callback function, and this div has a key property of idx so that it doesn't throws any error. This is a button. Now this button has a on click function which sets our current tab to idx. Now this is our current tab and set current tab, which is already set to 0. Now this has a dynamic class name as well. So similarly what we have done for our navbar, it has a cn function and initially it has a height of 5vh, tracking will be widest, font normal, text XS which is extra small, MD text base, uppercase, text let 200, and whenever the current tab is equals to idx, that is our current index, it will trigger the border bottom and it will also trigger border select 400. Now this has our data.name which is coming from our this main destination which is coming from our parent component. So I am passing this through props. Alright, now this is our second div which holds our images as well as the titles. So this div has a class name of flex call, justify between, and within this div I have written here the curly braces and this data.map. After that I have this main div which holds all of this within it. So this div has a key property of idx and has a dynamic class name which says if the current tab is equals to index, then it will be hidden, otherwise then it will show itself, otherwise it will be hidden. Now under this I have this div for our under this div I have this parent div which holds our image, data and everything under this. So this div has a class name of XL flex, justify between, gap X of 72, width of full. Now under this div we have another div. This div class name will have XL of width half, flex, justify center, item center, MB of 10, XL of MB 0, images X, and in Excel screen the MB will be 0. After that we have our image element, and this holds our data.images.webp, that is our this moon image, and this has these class properties which are required for this styling. After that we have this div for our this side, that is our moon and this paragraph and all. As you can see I have done this everything. If I save this, now as you can see all of these are working. Now let's go to our crew page. So we have completed our destination page. So we can close it. Now as you can see, we have closed all. Let's go to our crew page. Now similarly, what we have done for our destination page, we can simply create a div here, and from our destination page we can copy this div. It will be similar, so paste it here. This will be 2 and this will be changed to, let's see, meteor 2. Control C and paste it here. Now after that we have this div. Now after that we can create another component for our crew. So come back here and create another file, and let's name it as crew component .tsx. Type here rafce. Alright, now I can simply import it here, so it will be crew component. Alright, now save it. What I can do, I can pass the data here, so this will be crew. This will be crew, so I am importing it from data. Now let's go back to our component. Now here I have to similarly create another interface, and let's name this interface as let's name it crew component props, and this will have data as crew component, and this will be crew member prop, which I am importing it from types. Now similarly I can go here, pass it. I can come back here and write React.js and pass our crew component props, and within this parenthesis I can simply write data. This will be React. Alright. Now similarly, what we have done it for our destination page, I can do it here. So let me do that and explain it to you. Alright, as you can see, I have added all the things that are required for this crew component. So what I have done, let me explain it to you slowly. So at first I have created a useState hook which stores our current tabs. So current tab, set current tab, and initially it's 0. After that we can return here. This is our main div, and this has a class properties of Excel, px36, mxauto, flex, flexcall. After that we have this div for our texts. So this div has flex, justify between, item center, it will be relative, order of 2, and Excel order of 1. Now what I have done here, I have mapped over our data which are coming from this parent component, this data, and similarly and simply returned it here. This has class name respectively for data.bio and class name for this name, as well as this flight engineer. Now after that we have this tab switcher. This tab switcher simply does what our Navbar did. Simply whenever we click something, it shows data respective to that. Other things are hidden. So here we have a key properties of IDX, and on click we are setting our current tab to IDX. This has a dynamic class name as well. So initially the width will be 20, height 20 pixel, rounded full, PG slate 500, hover. Whenever we hover, the BG slate 200, and whenever our current tab is equals to IDX, it will trigger BG slate 200. If I save this, as you can see, this is visible. Now whenever I click over it, the image changes as well as this data changes. Now this is similar to what we have done it in our destination page. So similarly, what I can do, I can simply do it for technology as well. So we have completed our crew page. So let's close it, go back to our technology page. Now here what I can do, similarly what I have done it for crew as well as destination, I can go back here. I can simply copy this div, come back to our technology component and paste it here. Now this div is not required. Alright, save it. Now change this 01 to 03, and we need to change this title as well. So go back here, it will be technology. This will be space launch 101. So replace it with space launch 101. Alright. Now what we can do, we can create another div. Similarly, what we did in destination, we can create another component here in our component folder. Let's name it as technology component .tsx. Type here rfce, save it, and we can import it here. That is our technology component, which is our parent file, which is our parent component, that is our technology page. Now what I can do, I can simply write here data and import our technology data from data file, save it, go back to our technology component. This is our child component. So here what I can do, I can create interface. Let's name it as technology component props, and this will have a data as title, and this will be technology prop, which is coming from our types. Now come back to our component, come back to our this function and write here React.js, and we can pass technology component prop, and within this parenthesis I can pass data. Now I can simply do what I did for our destination page. Alright, as you can see, our technology component is this. Now this is our main div, this doesn't have anything, and this div, what we can do, we can simply remove these two divs, we don't need this. So come back here, this is our main div, which have a class name of Excel flex. So whenever our screen size is Excel, it will flex, and it has a justify between, item center, gap of 10. Now this div helps us in changing our tabs. So this has a class name of flex Excel. In Excel, the flex will be column, justify center, gap y of 10, gap x of 10, MB 10, Excel, and in Excel screen it will be MB of 0. Similarly, what we did earlier, we have this curly brace, we have mapped over our data. So this map, I don't need any data, I only need the index. So that's why I have given this underscore here and written here IDX, this button, and under this we have a button which has a key prop of IDX. On click of set current tabs of IDX, we have this use step, as explained earlier. This has a current tab and set current tabs, which initially has a tab of 0, and whenever we click on any of this button, it will change the tabs accordingly. This has a dynamic class name as well. The width will be 80 pixel, height will be 80 pixel, rounded full, BG black, text will be white, border, and this will be text to Excel. Hover, whenever we hover, the BG will be white. Whenever we hover, the text will be black. It will have a flex property, item center, justify center. But whenever we have our current tabs equals to IDX, it will trigger BG white and text black. Otherwise, it will be nothing. Now this has simply our IDX. Now come back to our second div. This div holds our data as well as the images. So again, I have mapped over our data. So this has data and index as callback. Now this div has key property of IDX, otherwise it will throw error. This has a class name of if current tab equals to IDX, then it will be showing this, otherwise it will be hidden. Now this is the div for our data and this is the div for our image. Now it is pretty simple. I have mapped over it and returned it here. So data.name and data.description. Alright, now this has respective class properties, so as you can see. And coming back to this div, which is our last div, this has two image tag, as you can see. Why I have done this? Because whenever our screen size is below Excel, this image will be shown, which is in landscape, and whenever our screen size is above Excel, it will show the images in portrait. Now if I save this and go back, as you can see, and if I save this, as you can see, this is visible, and whenever our screen size is below Excel, this is what it's looking for tablet. And if I reduce the screen size below that, this is for mobile, as you can see. Now if I do this and go back to our home, as you can see, this is visible, this is our destination, and this is our crew page. Alright guys, as you can see, we have completed our project. It's responsive, and if you need the code of this project, I will have a GitHub link in the description below. You can grab the codes from there, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.